Hello, Jessica here with Crochet It Creations, and we are on week 4 of Crochet It Creations Fun Textured Square Sampler Blanket. So we have been working squares. They are going to be turned into a blanket. There are lots of fun textures, different unique stitches. Week 4 is the basket weave. As you can see, there are post stitches just like we've been using for these squares. And this one is definitely a favorite of mine. So just like I've been using, I'm working 4 different square colors. Got white, medium gray, medium teal, and then today I'm going to be working with soft gray from Big Twist. I do like Big Twist yarn. You can find it at your local Joann store. It does work up very nicely for blankets and is fairly inexpensive. So as a change to this pattern, we have been using a 6mm crochet hook, and due to the stitches needed for the basket weave, we did have to add a couple extra stitches. So this is going to use your I 5.5mm crochet hook, and we're going to start off with a foundation double crochet row, just as we have been doing. This is going to be a foundation double crochet row of 26 instead of 24. So start off with your chain 3, create your foundation double crochet row of 26 stitches. So go ahead and work that now. If you're needing extra practice on the foundation double crochet row, I have a separate video for that. As you can see, we're working the chain and the double crochet stitch at the same time. You insert into the loop there, pull off one for the chain, and then work your double crochet. This gives it a nice stretch, a little easier than just chaining and then going back and working your double crochet stitches. But if you prefer to chain instead of using the foundation row technique, then go ahead and chain. Oh goodness, let me think about the math now. I didn't think about this ahead of time. So you would want to chain 28, double crochet in the 4th chain from hook, and then double crochet in each chain across. Your first chain 3 would count as a stitch. So 26 double crochet stitches. So keep working that. The good thing about these squares that we're making, they do measure about 7 inches height and width. I don't know if I mentioned that prior, but the good thing about these is that if you get the first couple of rows, the technique of them, you just repeat that the whole time. So not a whole lot of thinking and reading on the pattern. I would say the braided cable technique that we did last week is probably the most complex in my opinion. So if any of these are difficult for you, you could always skip them. If you're wanting to make the blanket and complete it and you're having a hard time working any of these squares, you could always replace with any squares of your liking. You could also do, a different square of your preference at 7 inches. And then I also was thinking that I'll share with the group. Please follow along in Crochet It Creations Facebook group. If you're wanting to work these squares but not wanting to make a whole blanket, these would be perfect to make like dishcloths out of. The basket weave would be really good for a dishcloth. So I thought about that today. I might have to make up some for Christmas. That'd be good presents. I love my crocheted dishcloths. They do great on dishes. So let me go ahead and count how many double crochet stitches I have. And so this chain 3 right here counts as a stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I actually worked over. I'm going to recount that just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. I always like to count a second time. Because especially on video, I typically often miscount. So we're gonna go ahead and make our chainless starting double crochet. This technique is used for all of these squares. I love this technique. It is replacing a chain 3 or a chain 2 in double crochet stitch. So to do that, you would want to pull up a loop that's the height of your double crochet, hold onto it tight, yarn over with it, insert into that first stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. It makes a double crochet stitch that's standing on its own without chaining. Okay, to start the basket weave, maybe I should put this in the center so you can see. To start the basket weave, you want to double crochet around the first 3 post stitches. So front post, double crochet around 3 stitches. And then back post, double crochet around 3 stitches. So back post around 3. So you're going around the post and not in the top of the stitch. Double crochet around the front post of 3. You're just going to keep repeating this sequence. So front post double crochet times 3, back post double crochet times 3, and repeat that across. And that is pretty much what you're going to be doing the whole pattern, so pretty simple. Alright, so keep working front post times 3, back post times 3, and then you're going to finish the row off, it looks like with 3 back post. And then double crochet in the top of the chain 3 from the start of the row. Okay, so row 2 is completed. You're going to turn over and repeat row 2. So do exactly what you just did. So starting, chainless starting double crochet in that first stitch, or chain 3 is to count as your first stitch, either one. Front post double crochet in 3 stitches. Back post double crochet in 3 stitches. Let me see if I can hold my hands up for a little bit so you can see a little easier what I'm doing. Back post times 3. If you have followed my videos, I've mentioned before that I use my phone to create videos. I don't have the best video equipment, and the holder that I use for my phone covers the screen, so I can't usually see what you're seeing. So hopefully it looks good. All right, so back post on here, front post, back post, so the sequence of this pattern is actually a 4-row sequence to get this weaved look. And then double crochet in the top of the last stitch. This is the starting chainless starting double crochet. Go into there. All right, so we have 3 rows completed. As you can see, we've got this nice post stitches here, and then it creates this bar across here. It looks really good. So now we're going to do our chainless starting double crochet again, and we're going to reverse it. So you're going to do back post times 3. And then front post times 3. So you're just reversing what you just did. So this is for row 4, back post times 3, front post times 3, back post, front post. So this pattern can be made in any size. For the blanket, I have the instructions on crochetitcreations.com as well as Ravelry. You can make it baby all the way up to king size. The crochet along is running September through October of 2019. Of course, you can work this technique as a standalone. You don't have to be working in the crochet along, but if you are, please share some photos. So double crochet in the last. So there is how it looks now. We're going to go ahead and turn it over, and this is reversible. See, look, it looks the same on each side. Go ahead and make your starting double crochet, and then you're going to do the same thing you did on the last row. So you're going to repeat the last row, which was row 4. So you do the back post times 3, front post times 3. So I know that this is the same repeat that you're going to be using, and if you're working lots of squares, you might not have to look at the pattern every time or video. So I want to show you a little trick how to know when to reverse. So you're always going to have like these 2 rows, what looks like a little chain across. You're always going to have 2 of those. So on the next row after this, we'll reverse and repeat row 2. So like I said, it is a 4-row sequence. You're going to repeat rows 2. Oh goodness, hold on. I'm getting front post. I'm getting confused because I'm talking. It's a 4-row sequence. You're going to repeat rows 2 through 5 throughout the pattern. So back post. The back post is what creating that little chain look. Front post. I've seen the basket weave used many, many times, and I had never made it before up until this year. So I really like how the stitches look and the definition it gives. Back post, then front post. And then double crochet in the top of the last stitch. Okay, so let's take a look. So like I mentioned, you have 2 of these on each that looks like a chain. So that means that when we reverse it, we're going to be ready to do the opposite. Like these are back post, you're going to do front post because we have 2 of those already. So that's kind of a way to just cheat and look without following the pattern. Hope that makes sense. So this is obviously a back post because it has the chain showing. So you're going to do what I'm calling a chain. It looks like a chain. You're going to do a front post. We're repeating row 2. So keep working this. Repeat rows 2 through 5. And then I have to count because I don't have the pattern pulled up in front of me, but I think it's 15 rows. Let me count on this one. 1, 2, 3. Got to get closer to me so I can count. Yeah, it's 15 rows. So repeat rows 2 through 5, excuse me. Repeat rows 2 through 5 until you get to 15 rows, and then go ahead and do a single crochet border around the outside, and that will be finished with a square sampler number 4. And then please follow along on crochetitcreations.com and my Facebook page, where I will be posting each week, and hopefully everyone else will be posting pictures of their work. We want to work this together and have this a community feel. So thank you all for following, and please subscribe to see future videos, and then stay tuned for next week. We have 2 weeks left after this, so of the squares, and then we'll start the construction and the border of the blanket. Thanks. Bye.